Hi, this is Shadi, and today it's gonna be Judo versus Wushu Sanda. Sanda is what is called Chinese kickboxing. I would say it deserves a lot more recognition for the throws, and today we will do exactly that. We will go through the throws of Judo in comparisons with Sanda throws. Now, the approach is gonna be very different because of the rules. Keep in mind, it is not like IJF, so you don't have one body of structure, so rules might differ from country to country or the level, whether you are a professional or an amateur. So today we will go through the approach of the throws. We all know how Judo operates with the upper body and the grip fighting, but when it comes to Sanda in particular, the throws come from Swai Jiao. There is multiple forms. Before it was far less restrictive, with more like joint locking, a lot more groundwork and clinching. Today you have what is called the military Sanda. It is a bit like military kendo or police kendo, where you are allowed to do far more things like the joint locks and groundwork and upper body clinching, while in sports Sanda, for I would say security measures, elbows are not allowed. Knees in some parts you can do to the body but not to the head. Clinching is not allowed. Some parts allow clinching for up to 3 seconds and then the referee breaks it up. So you would imagine that the approach for throws would be more to the lower body and not to the upper body like in Judo. Again, some rules may differ in some parts of the world, but for the most part it is lower body grabbing and gripping, and thus you can attack the throwing. So let's first start with the throws. I would say the Morote Gari is very you can see it in a lot of the matches and the highlights. So here, this is from Wushu TV. He explains that you just drop the level, and since for the most part knees are not allowed, you can do this, I would say, far more freely than you can in MMA, and you don't actually drop to your knees but rather drop your level, as you can see here, and then you just reap away. It is not like a big lift. Now obviously you can do a big lift, but to be far faster and far more efficient, it is better to just reap away, kind of like a Morote Gari of Judo. Here you see it starts from pulling away the upper body with the gi. Keep in mind, in Sanda there's no gi, and then you can get closer after you have unbalanced them. Now in Sanda, as they are lunging forward with the strike, that can leave them vulnerable to a Morote Gari without you needing to actually unbalance them, as you see here, Kuzushi, Tsukuri and Kake. Again, the approach is different. Even with a double leg, Judo can resort to upper body control, somewhat of an upper body control. Now this one here, the what people would call the single leg takedown, I found it actually very interesting, because what we would call run the pipe, as you get up, hold the leg between your legs, and then you spin in order to take them down. He actually does it as he is still down by, I would say, encircling and wrapping the calf and then just spinning out his leg without him needing to actually get up. So I found this particular variation very interesting, very efficient, and energy efficient as well. So here you see he's gripping the calf from the inside, and then all he has to do is spin his leg out far away and taking him down. Now Judo used to have this particular form of a single leg, where you just dive deep, grabbing I would say the lower part of the quad near the knee, and then you just dive in and roll away. See, this is your traditional, I would say, pipe running, where you have to stand up and actually deal with a very resistant opponent. In BJJ, you have to deal with the threat of submissions like the guillotine, the kimura, sumigaeshi, etc. While in Sanda or any other form of combat sport like MMA, you have to deal with strikes if you actually have to get up and try to run the pipe. Here you see you can fall into a guillotine, while the Sanda variation, I'd say it's very safe and also very efficient. Now this one here with a leg pickup, you can do forms of ashiwaza, like for example a ko sotogari. Again, these are coming from lower body control rather than upper body in compared to judo. Because judo, the jacket, much like Swai Jiao, you also have the grip fighting, so everything comes from the upper body control. And now with the legs, leg grabbing being taken out of the equation, it is far more upper body focused. Here you see also you can, he is still explaining that you drop down, but rather than grabbing before, you grab one leg and the waist. And here you can also just only grab the waist and do like a ko soto gake, or a minor outer blocking or hooking. Here you see this is ko soto gari, where you just reap away at the heel or the Achilles tendon, and you actually use the upper body to actually put their weight on that foot that you are actually gonna reap. So even with working ashiwaza, you still need upper body control, because in judo the approach is that you have to control all of the body when you are throwing for extra leverage and far less energy, while in Sanda you actually have to go down, grip one leg, lift it up in order to place the weight on the leg that you are actually gonna reap, because if you remove one leg, then their entire weight is on that leg. And here you see is ko soto gake, hooking and blocking. Now this one is your o uchigari, very similar but very little upper body control. He grabs the leg that is kicking, very similar to Muay Thai and Karate. You see these types of sweeps all the time in those two, or Lethwei. But in judo, the same thing. You need kuzushi, tsukuri and kake from the upper body, and then you just go in and reap away from the inside, as in o uchi gari. Here you see gripping the sleeve and the lapel. Even after he's down, he grabs the sleeve for total control and also the safety of your partner. Let's see it here from a different angle. And finally, this one, I found it very interesting. It's like an ashi guruma, but without the big wheeling motion or the guruma. You go in, you hook or place your leg on the knee level, and then you just trip them over it. This is ashi guruma. Ashi guruma, you spin out, you go to the side so you can leave a space for them to wheel over, and then much like hiza guruma, but you're actually turning your back to them on the knee level, and from the upper body control, the sleeve and the lapel, you actually spin them over their own knee. Hence the name, leg wheel, or your own leg. You spin them over your own leg on the knee level. But in Sanda, it's actually a little bit different, where you are actually grabbing the leg that's kicking. You go in scissor position, and then you just do like the hizaguruma leg, and then they drop on their torso, because you don't have the upper body control to actually spin them out. So if you have anything else to add, if you are a Sanda Wushu practitioner, please let me know if there's anything concerning the rules, the history, military Sanda, etc. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon for exclusive content. I post there once a week. So this was Shadi, and thank you for listening.